you may notice that you start to expect anybody turning against you. One day there was your friend, the next day you was enemies. And then you was like, wow, I just spoke to this person the other time. Everything was okay. What happened? Nothing happened. You're the chosen one. Now, there's a reason as to why a lot of chosen individuals avoid low vibrational people. Are we together, chosen ones? They don't avoid low vibrational people because they hate them, or they have a problem with them. Because we all understand there can be a point where your energy could have been all over the place, and for some reason, you was at a low vibration. You was a low vibrational person, you was at a low frequency. Now you see, the more you do any work to heal on yourself, so you start to pay more attention. Because one of the things that a chosen one realizes, first thing that they realize post-awakening, is that you have always been a targeted individual. Targeting can be physical, it can be spiritual, psychic. Because you know who you are, number one, and you know what the enemy wants from you. Wants from you and wants for you. So, your welfare, peace becomes priority. You may notice that you start to expect anybody turning against you. One day there was your friend, the next day you was enemies. And then you was like, wow, I just spoke to this person the other time. Everything was okay. What happened? Nothing happened. You're the chosen one. What happened is actually spiritual. A person can give you the biggest smile today, and the next day they're going to give you that face or that look you have never seen before. And the first thing that comes to your mind, what did you do to this person? Nothing. You did not do anything. It wasn't your fault. It had nothing to do with you. You don't owe them money. You're not dating their wife. You don't sleep in their home. That is exactly what happens to a chosen one. Now you see, being a targeted individual, like I've said, you can be targeted physically, where you could be gang stalked. Maybe they will send these bots on your online platforms, and they're going to start sending a lot of these nonsense comments that don't even make any sense. They have nothing to do with what you're saying. They might be driving around tailing you, looking around with cameras in your windows, sending neighbors to see what you're doing, that kind of stuff. That is the gang stalking, okay? It can be physical. But actually, it can also be spiritual. Because you see, witches and warlocks, they need your energy. Share this video. Okay? Sometimes I do these videos and I don't know that as we go along, as we flow, it's going to get very real. So, those witches and warlocks, like I've told you, they're after your energy. Anything they can do to get your energy, they will do it. Let's get comfortable. The witches and warlocks are after your energy. They need your energy. They need your soul. Because you see, your energy is very beautiful and bright. So those warlocks, they're not going to come and ask you, oh, we need your energy. Can you give us your energy? They're not going to do that. So the reason why they need the energy is because they are trying to destiny swap with you. If they are not doing it for themselves, they are doing it for other people on request, upon request. So let's say, for example, they may be contacted by someone and the person may give you as an offer. They may come to a person's place and they are going to give them a picture. They are going to give them a picture. They are going to give them a photo. Oh, we need to do this. We need to do that witchcraft from this person. We want to have what they have. We want to have what their destiny is. We want to do this. We want to sacrifice them. So, because they're working for the devil, those individuals are operating from a very lower vibration. They are not connected to source. It is not possible you're into witchcraft and you're connected to source. It's not possible. But most of the times, those things come at a price. And those things normally, like I've said in my videos, they either tend not to work. Yes, they could derail you a little bit, but usually they tend to backfire because they're dealing with a high vibrational being. Now, for these people to get access to you, like I'm saying in this video, they are going to attach themselves to the people around you. Is why I've told you you can have a very, very nice person. They liked you. You guys was getting along. You was okay. There was no hard feelings. And out of the blue, the energy shifted. You just woke up one day. That thing happened to me one day at work. So we used to have these couple of months. Everything was okay. So there is the reason that's why I gave up with that whole thing, because it wasn't making any more sense. You can try different jobs. It's going to be the same thing. These people was very nice. After a couple of months, they started flipping. The entire script flipped, and I didn't know exactly what was going on until eventually they had to send me out of work. Now, low vibrational individuals, it can be bots, NPCs, people without a soul, people without a consciousness, because now I'm starting to understand there is people without a consciousness. Because a person that has got a conscious, they have got the ability to reflect. They can ask questions. They want to know, these things you're telling me to do, or the things I'm trying to do, are they worth it? What are the consequences? The bots, they don't think about those things. They're like programs. When they send them to do something, they just go all the way. They go and do the assignment, and they're going to get paid some amount of money, and they're going to buy some new phones, and they're going to, sometimes they may pay their rent and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, those things tend to work against them in the long run, and they will never see what hit them. So low vibration individuals, a person that is low vibrational, a person that is operating in their lowest nature, they can be tools. They can be used as tools, because I've told you, these witches are evil. These warlocks and witches and all those kind of people, they are evil. So what they do, they can assign a particular gene or entity. Share this video. When the witches and warlocks, and this is a video that is going to help you to understand the protection that you need. You always have to ask for protection. You have to make sure you understand the energy around you at all times, 24/7 chosen ones. When you're targeted, it can go both ways. A witch or a warlock will assign a gene or an entity. That entity, it will come around in your vicinity and is going to attach itself to a person that is low vibrational. It has got to be a person that knows you. It can be a family member. It can be a relative, it can be a neighbor, it can be a landlord, it can be anybody in your vicinity, but they are very low vibrational. That gene, because the person that is low vibrational has got open portals. Their portals are open, so those genes can walk into their energy, into their vessel. And then now that entity is going to use that person as a tool. Are we together, my chosen one? This video is very deep. And then now that person is going to attack you. It may not necessarily be attacking you physically. These old narcissist people that you've been dealing with up and down all over the place, those was entities he was dealing with. There was entities that was assigned to those individuals. A chosen one, you have been actually attacked your entire life. It has been a repeated cycle. It could also be something that also has happened in the past life. So you've just been dealing with the same entity all over and over again, because this is energy, spiritual. It was just different vessels, different people at a time, but the same energy. So you have already been fighting this battle. It's ancient. So when the entity, that gene, attaches itself to that individual, that is when you're going to know, you're going to see that person flip. They're going to flip 180 degrees like they never knew you before. They're not the same guys you was having a drink yesterday. They are not the same guys you was having a chat. They're going to flip 180 degrees. And they're going to turn against you. They're going to try to set you up. You could be working with some people in an office, and that person is going to do some things with your files or at your desk or at your computer, because they're trying to set you up so that you can be fired, or they're trying to set you up to get destroyed in so many different ways, because the whole intention of this warfare is destruction. The battle you're fighting is spiritual in nature, so the end result is destruction. The whole idea is to destroy you in any way they can. So the reason why you see a lot of chosen people, they are very cautious about the people they let into their personal space. That is one of the reasons. They are very cautious for that particular reason. They recognize, they understand. The moment they see a person that they have dealt with has switched energies, all of a sudden now they are not nice, they are trying to set them up, they are trying to do this or do that, they are going to move accordingly, because they will know that it's about time. The person has been taken over and there's nothing they can do. So that's when now they are going to start separating themselves from that person. It can be anyone. And sometimes it's going to be the people that you don't even believe, you don't even expect. So when you're a chosen one, you find yourself every now and then trying to battle different entities. You're dealing with different individuals standing against you. You're dealing with somebody doing every kind of stuff you can even never think about. That is because you've always been under attack. So the people that are trying to attack you, those witches and warlocks, is what they do. The easiest way to attack you is to attach themselves. They are going to walk in those portals, those genes and what they send, they are going to walk into somebody. And that person is going to do everything they can do to set you up, to destroy you. Some of them may even poison you. I've seen sometimes a workmate who had this particular individual who used to come and poison her food. So she used to know where they used to keep their food. So she used to come and poison the food all the time. And this person would continue getting sick until one time they suspected there was something going on. So they set up a camera and they found the workmate was actually poisoning their food. So that was the gene. The gene wanted that person gone. So as a chosen one, you have to move with caution. You have to move with intention. You always have to pray for protection. You have to move with purpose. You see, when you move with purpose, you're always going to be provided for and you're always going to be protected. But you're supposed to move with purpose and intention. So the next time you see anybody turning against you all of a sudden, that is exactly what is going on. You have to know that you are under spiritual attack. In that particular moment, you are being attacked spiritually. The only thing, this thing you see, but this person you're dealing with, family member, whatever, is just the vessel that they're using. But there's somebody who is actually attacking you behind the scenes. And there's a gene that they send evil that they send that is operating within that person that is trying to attack you. That's how this thing works. So that is why we give you enlightenment, protection, spiritual protection, divine protection. You always have to make sure that you protect yourself, not only physically by paying attention to who is walking in and out of your house, but also spiritually. You have got to make sure that your eyes are open at all times. Okay, you can never sleep because you know the moment you sleep, those genes are going to walk in. So a lot of chosen ones, at some point, they get out of relationships when they start to realize how the spiritual warfare works. Many of them step out of relationships because they're like they don't want to deal with this. Okay, they get out of those relationships and try to be attentive with who they want to date. That is because they now understand the game properly and they know how to play that game. So you may be familiar with these kind of scenarios. If you've been asking yourself the question as to why you have always been attacked, that is exactly what has been going on, and that has been the means these entities have been attacking you all along. Let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will see you guys in my next one. Denzo Moss signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.